Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody else in between. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are, and welcome back to Tranquility Gaming Season 8 coverage. Today, we here in the Tranquility Gaming community make history as we cover the first ever regular season match held in the European region, with our first European Harmony Tier feature match between Orthus and Aten Esports. I'm Bowsy, and I'm joined here by Zuby on the cast, and Zuby, I think we're in for one heck of a show today.
I most certainly agree with that. Both of these teams do seem to be very evenly matched. We haven't seen much from them yet. We are going to be seeing Busan here first. Map.
Yeah, Busan will be the first map in the series, so it's going to be interesting to see how these teams play out here on Busan and how we're going to be able to get into this match as we start out here. So, going to be heading into the map very soon. Going to be interesting to see what these two teams, you said they seem to be evenly matched. It's mainly because we don't have a lot of information on these teams, so it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to pull out. Right now, as we see it here on the cast, definitely some interesting compositions we see thus far. We see a lot of different compositions here, Zuby.
Yes, we are going to be seeing a lot of compositions. Normally in these Harmony comps, we tend to see a lot of Rhine. That's what I'm probably expecting to see too. The European teams, you know, it is classic for them to launch a lot of Rhine, but we could see a little bit of different looks too, depending on what people are really feeling for that. How do you feel about that, Bowsy?
I mean, yeah, Rhine definitely is a mainstay, and we're going to be seeing Aten Esports come out here with that Reinhardt composition. But Orthus decided to go with this Ball Diva dive style, so we'll see if they're able to take the advantage here. As right now, Aten Esports putting themselves firmly on this point, but here comes Bori with the pile drive, goes right on to Blondie Rouge, destroying them immediately, and the rest of Aten Esports having a little bit of trouble trying to stabilize here. Oppie able to get that kill onto Nero, and that's pretty much going to be the end of the hold here for Aten Esports. Orthus just able to bring them down, and that's going to be Orthus capping the first point here.
Fantastic look from Orthus here. We are really going to be gearing up to see this McCree battle, or this Cassidy battle here, as it's going to be coming in. Some swaps are going to be coming out too. Orthus is now, or Aten Esports is going to be running the Anna with the Brigitte composition here. They're going to need to be looking to have a lot of those pile driver engages from the opposite team here over on Orthus. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. And as you can see, that ball already gets stunned out, and Unda loses their mech early. That is going to be disastrous here for Orthus. And already Aten have capped the point while Orthus has stepped off of it, and Dirksen getting that scale onto Oppie to start off this fight. You see that Kaori trying to keep up Bori, and they're going to be able to there for a little bit. Great nano boost to keep that ball alive, but he's just getting frozen and stunned. Typical life of a wrecking ball player here for Bori on this ball, but still, Aten Esports, they gain control of this point. Now it's just going to be a little bit for Orthus to try and make their move in.
I am going to be curious to see where this pulse bomb is going to. This EMP as well is going to be fantastic for this pile driver. But that is a fantastic stun.
6-man EMP coming out from Flake there on the side of Orthus. Orthus starting to push forward.
Oh, but a fantastic
eats the eats the pulse bomb from Oppie. That is massive coming out for the Diva player over on Aten Esports. Orthus will be getting the cap here, but the Blizzard comes out here from Shinbo, trying to get rid of all the other players here on the enemy side. But you already see Orthus trying to do as much as possible. Aten's starting to get some kills on the board, however, so it's possible for Aten Esports to be able to win this in the aftermath. But still, Orthus does have control at this point. Now with your Diva player being lost, it looks like you're going to see Orthus win this. You've seen Harrow using that shatter trying to get anything, but it was an unfortunate whiff. And Oppie starting to go nuts on this Tracer. Already gotten 2 in this fight thus far, looking for a third. And the hack onto that Reinhardt is just going to make it a lot worse. It looks like you're going to be seeing Orthus win this fight with that bomb from Unda, and Orthus continue their count up on the objective.
Yes, they're really taking control here of this fight. I'm very curious to see how they're going to be using this defensive rally as this push comes along. We could be looking as well for a nano engage, and really not much on the side for Aten Esport here in order to try and take this back, only having the bomb.
Yeah, they do have Shinbo switching over to the Somber, however, and they found Bori on the hack. That could be massive here if Aten is able to engage on it, but unfortunately, not enough sustain there. But they're still trying to push right onto this objective. Bomb comes out from Bizanors, and it doesn't get anything, unfortunately. It was a whiff bomb, but still, it brought Orthus a little bit back, and Aten are able to cap the point because Orthus wasn't able to touch it. Unda, however, gets the kill on the Blondie Rouge, so it's still possible here for the enemy team. A 3-man EMP coming out from Flake onto members of Aten Esports, and Darskin trying to get a lot of kills here. Bizanors gets the kill on the Bori, and now the kills are starting to go in favor here for the enemy side. You see that Darksin and Norak have unfortunately died to the hands of Oppie, and once again, Aten Esports having a little bit of trouble against this Tracer of Oppie, who has just been rampant this entire game. That is going to be Orthus winning this fight, going to be hopefully able to recapture this point, and might be able to win the first point here.
Orthus looking very clean on that fight as well, too. A lot of patience. There will be ults coming back, but it doesn't even look like there's going to be anything here. Oh, the EMP is going to be first out here, looking to take down that brick.
Oh,
High Noon! Darksen!
Darksin gets that 2K. High Noon, the third on the Thalia, so it's still winnable here for the side of Aten Esports, but Oppie still going absolutely crazy on this Tracer, trying to get all those massive picks possible, and unfortunately, nobody from Aten is really alive. All that's left is this diva Bizanors, and they will be saying goodbye. That's going to be Orthus taking the first point here on Busan.
That was a fantastic hold here from Orthus. That was a fantastic hold here from Orthus. They looked very, very clean here on that defense.
Ready for battle.
Aten looks like they need to have a little bit more cohesion and plan out their ults, but it's definitely still a winnable fight here, as we are going to be looking at this brawl-centric point here on Busan.
Yep, we're going over to Busan Mecha Base for our next point, and Busan Mecha Base is a very brawl-heavy map, so Aten Esports, who is running that brawl the entire time, they might have the advantage when it comes to this point, so we'll see what they're able to pull out. Right now, both teams are showing the brawl, and we're about to head into the map. Here we go, both teams running that brawl, but interesting that Orthus are running the Symmetra to start out over the Cassidy that Aten are running.
But Symmetra, when they do ramp up, provide so much damage. Oppie is really going to be looking to put that pressure onto the enemy main tank. But as we say that, Ori does take down the Lucio of Norak.
That is massive. Already one of your supports dead, and now Narrow dies at the hands of Unda, and the rest of Aten Esports just pushing straight in, just having to back out here. Orthus being able to push right into the enemy team. They did lose some members of their own, but it's not going to be enough for Aten to be able to turn this fight around. Orthus will be winning this first fight, and we'll be getting that first cap here on the objective. And I'm just going to set up a TP right to the point, just to make it easy for transport.
Definitely to make it easy. Also, being able to contest point while being able to go down. It looks like they are going to be coming in from that hidden door. Oh, very close there and dangerous for Narrow, but the lamp comes in to save him. Oh, Darksen is going to be going down as well. Baptiste from Blondie Rouge just really trying to put in the heals here.
Yeah, absolutely, and Aten Esports just keep falling when they lose that first pick. Obviously, it's just hard to really do that without any damage. All you have is that beta damage, and just like that, the rest of the fight will be cleaned up here by Orthus. They've won 2 fights now and have 30% capture objective here on this first point.
I really am going to be looking at this wall here from Oppie. This is going to need to be a big one here because the alt economy is going to be shifting over to Aten Esports very quickly if they're not prepared. The wall is going to be coming out here, and it does cut off theirs. Oh, and a massive shatter from
Ori gets the 3-man shatter, and all the rest of Aten Esports fall at the hands of the enemy team. Everybody on Orthus getting their contributions to this fight, and that's going to be Orthus once again winning the fight. Not a lot of ults expended in the enemy team, and Bizanors tries to get that mech kill onto Kaori, but to no avail. But Aten Esports looking kind of rough here. Orthus still having that dominance.
Orthus definitely still having that dominance, but this May ult that's going to be coming out from Shinbo is probably going to be their engagement tool to try and win this fight. Beat the sustain, but also it is going to be the dual beats on both sides. Oh, big wall coming out here, but it doesn't look like it is able to zone anyone.
Oh, that's a massive blizzard. Massive blizzard coming out from Shinbo, able to get some frozen up. Oppie ends up dying to the hands of Darksen, so it's winnable here. Make that 2 for Darksen in this fight, but that's a 6-man blizzard coming out from Flank on the side of Orthus, but they don't use any sort of ults to push in. Despite that, Blondie Rouge is dead on the Baptiste. That's only 1 support now for the side of Aten Esports, and Unda gets the remake kill on the Norak. Oh, that's just painful to see, but Aten Esports trying to come back for this, but already Orthus, they've eliminated both of their supports, and now it's 97% overtime now here. It's very possible, but that shatter from Narrow might have gotten a few on the ground. It might be possible here for Aten to be able to win this, and it looks like they will in the aftermath. Aten Esports will start counting up their percentage, but Orthus is already at 99%.
And look at this ult economy that's going to be coming in for a 10. They are looking very strong into these next pushes here. If they're able to cycle this properly, this could be detrimental for Orthus' hold for this retake.
Absolutely. Looks like Orthus are going to be going into this left side, so we'll see what they decide to do. They don't have a lot of ults in the bank, but they will have this window from Kaori probably very soon. Oh, but that's a massive fire strike. Here comes the bomb from Bezanors, and it gets to the lamp. Was unable to protect Blake and Opie. Oh, that could just be disastrous. But now Orthus, they have to try and back out here. Aten Esports able to win another fight, and that late kill on the Kaori and maybe a late kill on the Thalia here are going to be detrimental for Orthus to try and take this point back. Nope, they are able to save Thalia's life, but still, Aten Esports get the hold.
Very good regroup coming in for Aten Esports. They really needed to lose that fight, and they did it at the right time. We are going to be seeing them start to make this top right push.
Yep, taking that top approach now. Blondie Rouge just have the window. That's exactly what they're going to be using here. You see that at Aten Esports, they're waiting here in the choke. Oh no, it's Shinobi's Blizzard was 8, but the shatter from Nero gets 5 on the ground, and the hammer starts swinging. Darkson able to find the kill on the Bori, and that charge on the Thalia will end the life of Thalia. That's another fight win here for Aten Esports. They're going to be continuing this hold. 70% for them. It's almost last fight territory here for Orthus.
Fantastic pin and fantastic shatter coming in from Nero. They really look to be holding that as well too. But the ult economy is going to be shifting over to Orthus here.
Yeah, absolutely. At Orthus, obviously, they need to try and win this fight. This is their last fight territory. They use the window to start out. They're trying to get any sort of possible picks they can, and they found the pick on the Norak. That is massive. That's already one support down for the side of Aten Esports, and now Aten having a little bit of a disadvantage. They do have this wall online from Darkson, but they need to try to find some picks quickly. They're able to find a pick of the Thalia, but Nero is dead on the Reinhardt. That could be disastrous here for Aten. And now Blondie Rouge is dead.
And the Goomba Stomp.
Everybody is dead on the side of Aten. They're falling one by one, just like flies in a Venus flytrap, and just like that, Orthus will be able to take back the point, and in overtime, Orthus is going to be winning the first map of the series.
What a fantastic hold here and retake from Orthus. You know, it was looking very dire towards the end of that 99.
Play of the game.
It was looking very dire for that 99 to 99 point.
Yep. Looked very dire for them, and they were able to bring it back, as you said.
Yeah. Very good hold here from Orthus. Yes, you know, very good hold here from Orthus. Unexpected, but very, very good considering the ult economy was really shifted into Aten's favor here.
Yeah, Aten Esports did have a lot of opportunities to try and bring that back, but they were unable to take it back, so they're going to have to go one down the series. Orthus takes the first map, but it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to be handling into this next point, into this next map. Aten Esports has chosen their next map, which is going to be Volskaya, so they're going to be able to play on that assault map, which is going to be interesting to see how they decide to use this map to their advantage. I mean, we see them mainly as a brawl team, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can pull out that dive, that double shield, especially two comps that are more prevalent here on Volskaya, but it's going to be Aten Esports on the attack first. Meanwhile, Orthus will be able to defend first. So it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to pull out here, Zuby.
I would really love to see a six-man composition here. Six-man tends to be a very strong comp if you can get those rotations down. But it doesn't look like we will be seeing that very soon, as soon as it loads up. I have to say, though, Darkson is looking very good for a 10, and if they're going to make a comeback, he's going to look to be their crucial piece here.
Absolutely, but are they able to handle the absolute carry potential of Opie on the other side? Because Opie was doing a lot of work on that Tracer. Opie was really the hard carry for the side of Orthus. Aten need to try to find a way to counter that, because if you do not want to be in a situation where you're dealing with Opie being that much of a carry, so we'll have to see what the move is from Aten Esports and what they decide to go for. They are going to be on the attack first, while Orthus is going to be on the defense. And looking at the comps we see right now, Zuby, very interesting composition we're seeing from Orthus.
Very interesting indeed, especially if they're going to be rolling out with this too. That Bastion bunker style is so hard to remove, especially if you're not going to be running a Lucio here for that brawl. And it looks like they aren't not going to be putting it out here too. This is going to be a very clean rotation if they're going to be able to contest this here.
Yeah, they also have that TP of their own, so Shinbo will be able to bring the team wherever they please. So we'll see what Aten Esports' strategy here. They probably already see the double shield, but they don't see the Bastion, who's going to be beating them right there as they teleport onto the top. But they have that brawl to be able to push onto the enemy team. Oh, they found that Sigma of Unda all alone there on the low ground. If they're able to pick that off, that could be massive here for the side of Aten, but unfortunately they're unable to. And Norak's on the low ground. That could be disastrous, but still, Aten Esports just making the slow rotation here. Darkseid does get that wall off, unable to get any sort of movement in there, and already Norak has died to the side of Unda, so that's going to be controversial here. Blondie Rouge also dies to the side of Kiori after using the window Zubi. That's not going to be good. Oh, but Nero, he gets the 2K fire strike thanks to the damage boost. That is absolutely massive. It is possible here for Aten to try and push into this point. They might be able to push into the garage here, but you've already lost your mech, but you already lost Bizador's at mech, and that's pretty much going to be ended. There's a lot of trades, but it may look very rough here for Aten Esports as Orthus just has this stability with this Bastion composition.
Killing the Mei there.
Yep.
And it looks like they're going to be able to hold. It was very, very rough here, but somehow Orthus managing to clutch out. And Bastion ult is going to be coming back quickly too. They are going to be setting up here on that right high ground again. Oh, Blondie Rouge just taking a little bit of a hangout spot there, as you're seeing, as they're waiting for this team to come back.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what the move is here from Aten Esports as they start to make the move. They look like they want to be teleporting. Okay, they're teleporting to the other high ground. Remove that teleporter access so that the enemy team can't come onto you. Or make it so they just go onto you, and Norak already gets killed by Opie. And Opie gets 2 with the Bastion already raining havoc on the side of Orthus here, on the side of Aten Esports. Aten Esports need to try and come up with a quick strategy to get out of this situation as quickly as possible. Well, there's your answer. Just die. 40 gets the kill onto Nero, and looking rougher and rougher here for Aten Esports. And just like that, Orthus win another fight. And already 2 minutes have been burned off the clock here for the side of Aten Esports.
Was it?
Yeah,
that
Talia.
was incredible. That was incredible there too. Talia pulling out the Neptuno here with that Mercy Bunny Blaster pistol. We love to see it here. Don't you agree, Bowsy?
Yeah, you love to see those Mercy 2Ks, so be interesting to see now what Aten decide to do here on their attack. They've finally switched over to the Lucio. They've switched off that Brigitte, so they want to have that speed boost now. Which, honestly, you were questioning before why they weren't running the speed boost, so it makes sense why they would run it this time. Just have that fast engage so you're able to get rid of these people. But now, what does Aten Esports here? Do they take the high ground here?
It looks like they are going to be taking the high ground. This is once again going to be a long rotation, and if Flake is proactive with that TP, well, I mean, TP is going to go down as soon as we say Caster Curse, but it is going to be a DP rotation of their own. It looks like a bait. Sigma ult is going to be coming out here, but it only hits 1.
Oh, and that's already the shatter from Nero was blocked by the wall from Flake, and the rest of Aten Esports falls at the hands of Unda on that Sigma. A lot of pressure going on to them, especially with Opie on this Bastion, and just like that, another lost fight here for Aten. Unfortunately, they only have 30 seconds now, and they don't have any ults in the bank here for this next fight.
They don't have any ults in the bank, and the only ult that they did have, they're going to be switching off here in order to get to a more dive-centric touch composition here. And we are going to be looking at Supercharger on the side of Orthus here from Bori, and even potentially a window if this mid-fight is going to be closing in. So much damage here being pressured. Nero is looking forced out, and he's going to go down. Oh my, it's so tragic.
Yeah, definitely. He was not in a narrow space, so he was unable to stay alive there. He ended up getting burnt down by Opie on the Bastion, and now it's looking rougher, but Aten Esports, they do have control at this point. Overtime is in play right now. Aten need to try and make any sort of progress they can on this point, but Opie finds the Lucio. That is a massive pick to start off the fight, and Opie's still reigning supreme. He's found Shimbo. He's found Blondie Rouge. Opie just destroying the side of Aten. That's a 5K in this single fight, trying to go for the 6K, but won't be able to. Aten Esports won't be able to get any progress on point A, and that's going to be Orthus getting the full hold.
Opie just looked incredible there. That Bastion was able just to provide so much pressure onto Aten that they were really struggling. That break for Aten, though, very much hurt them on those 2 pushes. They needed that speed, and not being able to have those rotations really might be costing them this map here. They're going to have to play for this draw, but with the unstoppable Opie and even Talia providing that Battle Mercy damage, I don't know what to expect here. What about you, Bowsy?
It's definitely going to be challenging here to see what the plan is for Aten Esports, because they have to hold for 4 minutes on this point that they were unable to get any progress on. And the best they can hope for, as you said, is a draw. They can't even win this map, so they have to try and hope for a draw and try to bring it back in 2 maps. So it's either you draw here and try to win the next 2 maps, or you lose this map and try to bring it to a map 5. But as we're about to head back into the match here, currently, it's going to be interesting to see, definitely, because I'm looking at Aten Esports' comp, and in a way, it does make sense what they are pulling out here, but at the same time, it can be a little troublesome in terms of what they are deciding to pull in here, so we'll see what the move is here from Aten Esports as we look at the compositions very soon, and you can see that they're going to be running a brawl style coming in here, so we're going to see what the move is here from Aten Esports as we head into the game. Aten Esports running that brawl defense, and the 6-man dive on the side of Orthus.
We are loving to see that here. Was not expecting a little bit of the Junkrat hold here, but we're going to see how it pays off. As this rotation is going to be coming on the left side, we're going to have Flake here scouting and looking to see where he can, or where they can actually hack the health back. Health back is going to be hacked as they're looking to set up this pinch. Really good rotation here from the side of Orthus as well too.
Yeah, Aten just want to stay on this point right now. They're waiting for the opportunity to Orthus to push in, and Orthus do make that push in with this 6-man dive composition, and Bori gets burnt down by Norak. Opie able to get the kill onto Shinbo, however, so it's still winnable here, but Darkson gets that kill onto Opie. So now Orthus looks like they're going to have to be retreating here. They've lost their Diva of Unda, and it looks like that's going to be all but the end of this fight here for Orthus. Aten win the first fight in this point, but how long are they going to be able to hold this up?
But just as we say that as well, too, there are going to be compositional switches here coming in from Orthus. They're going to be mirroring on the side of Aten Esports composition. I'm not sure. I think they could have held that 6-man and really provided a lot of ultimate economy that could have came in. But they didn't feel confident in it. Darksen's looking fantastic on this Cassidy here for this defense.
Absolutely, and you see that Orthus go up to the high ground. They want to try to bring this Reinhardt into the thick of the fight, and already they found Narrow on the Reinhardt, and now Orthus might be able to make this push effectively. Now there's no tanks on the side of Aten Esports, looking very rough here for the defense, but still they have this Riptire. It gets blocked by Opie. Oh my goodness, Opie just showing how much skill they're able to bring out. Kaori gets the kill on the Body Rouge, and that's canceled by Bori. That is not what you want to see if you're Aten Esports. Just like that, Orthus getting these final kills in the fight. They're going to be stepping on this objective, and they'll be getting that 33% that they need. Orthus go to match point in the series, winning 2-0.
We're going to be seeing this play of the game come in here as well, and it's definitely going to be having to go to Opie. That Bastion defense that they had looked so good, and Orthus is actually looking like a top contender now here for this EU team, at least from what we've been seeing. How do you feel about that, Bowsy?
I mean, it's definitely showing that they have a lot of mechanical skill and teamwork that they have. Obviously, the 6-man dive, when it wasn't working, they just switched off of it immediately so that they could be able to go for a different style. They went to a style that they felt like would counter the enemy comp better. So they went for that. They ended up making that work, and we're going to see if they're going to be able to continue that momentum heading into this match because they look really good thus far. Is there any answer that Aten Esports can try to pull forward to win this?
Well, if there's one thing you could never count out about Overwatch is that any day a team could pull something as well too. Aten definitely has the fans in the chat, and they could be rallying right now after this break that we're probably going to be seeing soon. I would really, really like to see Aten. Oh, it looks like we are going to be going into the next map
now
here.
Yeah, it seems like that Aten just want to go straight for the next map, which they have decided to be King's Row. So we'll see if they're able to continue this series and see if they're able to continue this trajectory here for the series. But it's going to be interesting to definitely see this because King's Row is a very heavy brawl map. And as we've been seeing, yes, Aten are known for their brawl comps, but they haven't been working that well compared to Orthus's brawl comps. So either they're coming up with a different strategy coming into here to King's Row, or they are trying to throw a curveball and not run a brawl comp on King's Row.
We could be seeing some cheeky stuff here. They were running the Bastion before. Oh, it looks like it's going to be more brawl here. They're only going to be doing that for Volskaya, but I was curious if they were going to be putting this Bastion turret that some teams do like to run on the top there.
All right. Well, as we are talking about that, Seems these people have forgotten. Seems these people have realized that there is a 10-minute halftime. So I don't know if we're going to be going to a 10-minute halftime or not, but we will definitely see if they decide to bring it back to the lobby and or bring it to a halftime. But we'll have to see, because both of these teams definitely have that sort of mentality to just keep going. It seems like they're going to be going to a halftime momentarily, but anything could happen right now. But as we see the game, it looks like it's starting up. As we see the game starting up, it's getting paused. It looks like they're going to be ending it too. It looks like they're going to be bringing it to a halftime, potentially. We're again, like, this is obviously new teams to Tranquility. They're not used to this sort of thing, so we're going to see what the plan is if they decide to keep going or if they decide to go to that halftime. But if we go to that halftime, do you feel like Aten will have to have that little trouble, or do you feel like that Orthus will have to, or do you feel like Orthus will continue that momentum?
Really, a 10-minute break can make such a difference if a team isn't prepared for it. You can let your guard down very easily at a 10-minute break and really struggle. I'm not seeing it as much with Orthus with how dominant their play has been, but you never know. That's the thing about Overwatch is anything can happen in these matches, and it definitely would make an incredible series if we can see something brought back here for this halftime and this break, just a little bit of a reset.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what they decide to do here. Looks like they're going to be continuing on with Kings Row. We're not going to a halftime break, so we're going to see what they decide to go here for. What they go for here. Right now, it looks like Aten Esports on the attack. Looks like they are right now showing the Dallas six-man composition, except they do not have the Lucio Moira. So it's going to be interesting to see this very different take on a Kings Row composition. It definitely requires a lot of setup, Zuby, but it could work.
Yeah, it definitely requires a lot of setup, a lot of scouting, but I am very curious of this Darkson Echo. You know, them and Shinobu have been looking fantastic today. Even regardless of the stuff that's been going on for their team as a whole. And you know what? It looks like there are going to be trades coming in right now. Kiori is providing a lot of damage and a lot of healing on those side angles, but you know, the trades are coming in, and it's looking very hard to predict. Mei is going to be freezing this diva here.
Yeah.
Not sure what's going to be happening.
Yeah, currently it's only a 2v2 here on the fight for Aten, and Aten will have the spawn advantage. Their died first, so Narak is going to be back in this fight, but still Orthus is trying to bring it back into this. Thalia on the Lucio, trying to battle out the backline of Aten Esports, but through it all, Aten Esports, they've gotten the picks that they needed, and it looks like they're going to be winning the point here with this Dallas six-man.
And look at this charge that you're having here from Darksen on the Echo. Already at this ultimates, and already the team pretty much on 6 ultimates that they need here for these next fights and next pushes. And it's going to be tough here with this choke.
Absolutely. We'll see if they're able to hold this choke, but you see that Orthus want that early choke, and already OP has found Darkson on the Echo. That is not how you want to start this. So it looks like Aten Esports, they're going to need to probably wait for this Echo to come back and wait for that perfect engage. Somebody was in that window trying to contest it, but it looks like they were moved away. And the anti-nade on Bori on the Reinhardt doesn't seem like it's going to be followed up, however, as Aten Esports is trying to focus on one target here with this composition. But we'll see what the move is here as Darkson gets the duplicate onto the Rhine. Norak gets the anti-nade kill onto Offie, so it's winnable here. Narrow uses the Primal Rage as well. Ult's flying left and right here for the side of Aten Esports. They're throwing every single ult they can into this potluck, and they're able to get kills out of it. Benzadors gets the kill on the Kiori, and Narrow with the Primal Rage gets the kill on the Flake. It's going to be a one fight here for the side of Aten Esports, but not without a cost.
A little bit of a dance party here with this baby diva as they're finally going down. Unda is going to be going Unda for this spawn here.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the move is here now from Orthus. What do you think their plan is heading into this next fight?
You're going to have to be looking at a DM'd Reaper ultimate here, but there's so many ults going to be coming in from Orthus. And I would really love to be seeing a Speed High Noon, but unfortunately with being Rig, they can't really use engagement, but Fat Shatter!
3-man Shatter! 3-man Shatter coming out from Bori, gets 3 kills with that. The Blossom from Shinbo, unable to get anything thanks to the Eat coming out from Unda. Does lose their mech in the aftermath, but still, it is going to be a one fight here for Orthus. Offie gets that final kill on the Darkson, and Narrow's just going to try to sacrifice himself to the pit. Won't leave without getting killed by Kiori, but that's a one fight there for Orthus, and all they had to use was that Shatter.
All they had to use was that Shatter. Definitely that big bash on the Blossom as well, too. Shinobu's really going to be hurting deep inside when they're feeling that ultimate there. Very good hold, considering not many ultimates really had to be used on the side of Orthus too. But both sides are going to be farming those up, and Streets is so dangerous when it comes to that.
Absolutely, as now Aten Esports try to make their way into this. They have this duplicate back online for Darkson, so they might use this as their engagement tool. We'll see what the plan is. They also have the nano boost, so they could go for their all Q strategy that they won the fight last time with. That wall came extremely close to getting somebody off guard, but Orthus are still wanting to push into this. Here comes the duplicate from Darkson, gets that Reinhardt, and Bezenor is able to get the kill to off. He's already one massive damage dealer down for the side of Orthus. Oh no, Orthus! Orthus scored on the card. Guess who was? Blondie Rouge and Shinbo. They get the back cap underneath Orthus's head. That is absolutely massive, and that could really turn the tide of this battle.
Oh, they're going to be hurting, especially just from that one there. We are going to be seeing some of these pushes here.
Yeah, they're still trying. It looks like Orthus are still trying to contest this. Aten Esports, they're still trying to come back from the spawn, but that card's still going to be moving, and it's going to be Aten Esports being able to push. Orthus have to try and retreat a little bit.
Orthus definitely has to retreat a little bit. This Rushmere is going to be very good to see, but Baptiste is going to be coming in a little bit late as well, too. Oh, the Shatter's bomb! With the bomb coming in?
Oh, Shatter! Oh, my! Just the 4K bomb to bring back the fight in the favor of Orthus. Absolutely massive play coming out from the Diva player of Orthus, and that's going to be Orthus winning the fight outright. They lost the Shatter, but got a massive bomb in the process, and that's all you needed right now if you were Orthus.
That bomb came from a land down under, and we are really loving to see it here. This window that's going to be coming in as well is going to be very crucial for Kiori for this hold.
Take a shot every time Zuby makes an under joke. But you see now that at Esports, they try to push in, but Narrow has already died in the hands of Unda. And Alpi gets the kill on the Darkson. It is a lost fight here for Aten, already losing 2 in this fight. But that window was invested from the other side, and the flash fed on the Blondie Rouge is just going to send them back to the grave. That's once again, Orthus winning another fight. Now only 2 minutes here for Aten Esports to try and push this card to the end of point C.
Orthus looking very good, you know. It's just been such a struggle for these pushes here on third. It looks like they're really going to be needing to get some big ultimates and probably a big shatter from Nero if they want to really clutch this out. We're also going to be looking... Oh, High Noon coming in from OP. Can he get it?
Nope, didn't get anything. The shield from Nero was there, but there is a Mei stranded right in front of him. Oh, but that's a 6-man shatter coming out from Nero. Gets everybody on the side of Orthus on the ground. The lamp is there from Kaori to try and keep everyone up, but everyone's just going to be falling on the side of Orthus. Well played there from Aten to be able to take that patience and wait for the perfect opportunity to get that 6-man shatter.
An interesting stagger here on the Baby Diva. Not sure if they could hit it or if they were just looking to go for that, but that's going to be very crucial here on this last part of Bend. We are going to be seeing the Mei ultimate here from Flake that they are going to probably be using to engage for this fight.
We'll see if it's able to get eaten or not. You see Bizanor's looking for it, but already is frozen. The blizzard thrown out, and already some people have died on the side of Aten Esports. The shatter is a big blizzard. We'll see if it gets any kills. Unda gets one with the bomb on the Blondie Rouge, but still, Orthus having a little bit of trouble stabilizing here. Aten Esports able to get these crucial kills in the moments that matter. Unda gets sent right down under with that Diva bomb, and just like that, Orthus will have to sacrifice that point. Aten Esports will push all 3 points here on King's Row. That's exactly what you need if you're Aten Esports.
You know, it was looking very, very, very good for Orthus there on that fight, but the ultimates that started coming in from Aten look to be turning it around. Aten has made this a game again right now, as we're going to be seeing their defense, and if it's anything like what we've been seeing so far on this map, I'm rooting for Aten here.
Yeah, Aten showing that when it comes to the stock standard brawl composition, they have an advantage with this Mei Cassidy composition. So we're going to see if they're able to take advantage of that on their defense. We'll see what they decide to pull out here against Orthus. If you're Orthus here, what do you run? Do you run a very different strategy to try and throw off the enemy team, or do you run that stock standard brawl and hope to God it continues working?
Well, you might be seeing what I was talking about at the beginning of this map, where we're going to be seeing that cheeky little bastion.
Incoming in 30
That play with that bastion set up on high ground hurts so many teams if you're not expecting it. I think a 10 might be expecting it now since that Volskaya defense, but only time will tell when we can see it.
Yep, the famous Simba composition here on Kings Row. Looks like it's going to be coming in effect here for Orthus. Maybe not. They're not. They were originally going to run the Simba composition, but now they're running the May Cassidy as we saw them run before. So it's going to be stock standard Brawl Mirror on both sides. So won't be able to see that Simba composition yet, but still Orthus looking for that engage. That's a great wall coming out from Shinbo, but no kills will be resulted of it. Oh, and that's a massive freeze on the Narrow. Able to stay alive, however. So it's still possible here for Orthus or Aten to win this fight. It's still all up in the air, but the ult charges might start to come into factor as Narrow gets that charge kill onto Bori thanks to Shinbo's wall, and I think that's it if you're Orthus. They have to try and back out. They could try to find a miracle pick, but you don't have your main tank, you don't have your pressure.
Definitely, they could be looking to push this, but I'm actually glad they're not, because so many teams would already be trying to push for these Rhine advantage fights and really be paying for it. Great patience here from Aten.
Yeah, great patience from Orthus as well to be able to wait for that opportunity to push. And Bori finds the Fire Strike onto Shinbo. That is going to be disastrous here for Aten. The Deadeye from Darkson gets eaten up entirely, and Opie's found two in this fight again. Make that three, or never mind, make it three. Now make it three onto Norak. It took a little bit to get that third, so regardless, Orthus, they're getting the kills in this fight. They're getting those last picks that they need, and they will be taking point A in this objective after they deal with Bezonoras on the D.Va. And that's going to be the win here for Orthus. They're going to be winning this fight and taking the first point.
They most certainly are going to be taking this point, and, you know, they already are starting to make their push up. That push to deny as much space as possible is crucial, but a fantastic wall coming in. Opie is going to be going down. And we are looking. Oh, it looks like. Oh! The shatter here coming in on Flake.
You have two-man shatter from Narrow. Got Flake and Thalia on the ground, and it was because Bordy died in that fight that the shatter went off. So Aten Esports will get the hold here right by the arches, which is perfect if you're on Kings Row. So we're going to see what they're going to be able to do here, what Aten Esports is going to be able to do here on the hold, and how Orthus is going to engage.
This is a fantastic spot for teams to hold. Narrow choke that they won't be able to push through. Great wall.
Well, a narrow choke doesn't matter if your Reinhardt gets through it and gets a two-man shatter kill on the enemy side. Bori gets that two-man shatter kill, and just like that, Orthus is just going to be engaging right onto the side of the enemy team. They are going to be winning this fight, and they're going to continue this cart moving. Aten Esports sent back to spawn.
And there was absolutely nothing boring about that shatter there that Bori put out. We are going to be seeing this huge window that's probably going to be their initiator, and maybe even a speed high noon. They aren't going to have much here except for the Mayalt on Shinbo to really see what they can do to hold this. Streets is dangerous, and it looks like it's going to be probably in the favor of Orthus here. Good wall coming in so far.
Yep, good wall. They're able to pressure out Bori a little bit, but he's able to stay alive, throws it a bit, but Narrow gets burnt down, and so does Shinbo on the May. The window comes out here from Blondie Rouge, but only 2 kills thus far. Both in the favor of Darkson. Tries to get that flash fan on the enemy team, but is unable to. Oh, and the bomb from Pesadors able to get the kill onto Kaori, but the rest of the team is unfortunately falling into the hands, and looks like Orthus, they're going to be pushing this cart into the second point. 4 minutes and 43 seconds to try and bring it to the end of point C.
4 minutes and 43 seconds to bring it to point C, but you know, this is an incredibly hard point to capture. And we're definitely going to be seeing it too with these ults that are going to be coming on. Shinbo manages to keep that May ult, which they're going to be probably using to engage here on this fight. And it is going to be coming out.
Oh, he might have fallen within the cracks. The shatter comes out from Bori, gets 2 on the ground, but unable to get any kills until Thalia gets the boop on the enemy Lucio. That is massive. Already one of your supports down. Unda able to get the kill onto Narrow as well, and now Orthus being able to push right into the enemy team with that amazing kill that Thalia got. And just like that, Orthus is approaching the final point here on Kings Row.
And you know, they're going to be really looking desperate here on this defense. They're probably going to be having some swaps.
Yeah, you already noticed one swap. The window comes out here from Kaori. The bomb also comes out here from Unda. Unable to get anything, but already Bori has found the kill on the Blondie Rouge. The Deadeye from Darkson, able to get the kill on the Opie, but unable to get anything else except Unda's mech. And now you see Orthus, they're starting to listen their blow a little bit. Darkson has found 3 in this fight thus far, looking for a 4 for the Kaori, but gets killed by Flake before he's able to get it. But still, it's going to be Aten Esports winning this fight, being able to get the hole here with 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So now it's just a waiting game for Orthus to try and get that final percentage.
Really great swap to the Bastion here for that defense. It's definitely going to be burning a lot of time. I would like to be seeing it swapped off, but it doesn't look like they're going to be doing that. Window is going to be the big win condition here from Aten.
Yeah, it definitely will. Aten Esports will have this window online. They also will get Bezanor's mech back, thankfully. So we're going to see if they're going to be a full team heading into this. The window invested here from Blondie Rouge to start off the fight. And already see Nero frozen up there in the front line, barely able to stay alive. Bori is going aggressive. He wants this shatter. He wants to try and finish out the fight here for Orthus, but looks like they're probably just going to be waiting. They're already down low Lucio, so they don't have that speed boost advantage. And looks like Orthus, they're going to be waiting for the perfect opportunity to push in. They just need to be careful of Shinbo's Bastion, who's just sitting comfortably in the back there.
Patience is the game here, right now. Orthus could definitely close this out, but this Bastion that's providing pressure in the back is making it so difficult.
Oh, and Nero gets that massive shatter onto the team in that little narrow walkway that they were in. Just like that, Aten Esports gets the win in this fight. It cost a minute of Orthus' time bank, and now only 2 minutes on the clock for them. They do have the ults, but will they be able to use them effectively?
You know, it looks like Orthus is just going to be trying to stack 6 ultimates here. We're probably going to be seeing a lot of that. But I really want to see the speed high noon. If Blondie's not paying attention for their Baptiste lamp, it could be the big thing to killing that Bastion that's all the way in the back.
Well, another way to getting the Bastion to the back is just moving all the way to the back. They're going to be taking the left side flank here. They thought the Bastion was there, but guess what? Shinbo's on the other side. Here comes the Deadeye coming out from OP. Almost gets burnt down there. Unable to get any sort of kills with it, and the bomb comes out. Oh my goodness, gets booped right into the line of Shinbo. Almost got remech killed there by Bezanor's, but it looks like you're going to be seeing Aten Esports win this fight once again with those established kills. And just like that, once again, another minute burned off of the clock here for Orthus, and it's starting to look rougher and rougher for them to win this fight.
It really is starting to look rougher and rougher. There's just so much pressure from angles that the team Aten is really putting in. And I don't know. It's looking like it's going to be in the favor of Aten this one. We're going to maybe be seeing a full game in full series.
Potentially. Now, here comes Aten. Here comes Orthus on the engage. The window is used from both sides. Blondie Rouge uses there first. And the shatter comes out once again from Nero. Gets multiple people down on the side of Orthus. Orthus starting to fall one by one. Only 2 members left for their team, and they're just going to be going right back to the team to try and recuperate themselves. But now only 30 seconds on the clock here for Orthus, and they used most of their ults that they had ready for that fight.
Most of their ults coming down, and you know, it's really, really going to hurt them. May ult is pretty much their only win condition. They are going to be switching over to the Sim. Let's see what they can do. Maybe they get this onto the Bastion and it wipes. But Bastion's already set up in the back.
Yeah, Bastion's just set up all the way in the back. They use the Blizzard from flank to be able to catch some people off guard on the side of Aten Esports, and the wall will block off a little bit of that tank pressure. Darkseid gets the kill on the Bori, but Oppie able to find that critical pick on the Baton Rouge, and guess what? They don't touch the cart again! Aten Esports win because of 2 instances where Orthus just didn't touch the cart in time!
You know, it's one of those ones that's definitely going to hurt them. Definitely going to hurt them, and we are going to be seeing the bomb from down under. Third time I have to do it.
Listen, okay, I made the joke too, so I'm not the only person. At least you're not the only one doing it. I made one in that last map, so... Now, things have gotten interesting, because Aten Esports, after 2 critical Charlie Niners from Orthus, have possibly turned this around and have brought it back into a situation they could win. So it's going to be interesting here. Now, we're going to be making up for that halftime break we missed out on before, as we're going to be having the halftime break 1 map late here. Who knows, it might be a halftime break, because when we come back, we might be having a map 5 series here. But stick around. You do not want to miss the rest of this match.
I most certainly am going to be feeling it.
Orthus' time. Team in that little narrow walkway that they were in. Just like that, Aten Esports gets the win in this fight. It cost a minute of Orthus' time. Team in that little narrow walkway that they were in. Just like that, Aten Esports gets the win in this fight. It cost a minute of Orthus' time. Team in that little narrow walkway that they were in. Just like that, Aten Esports gets the win in this fight. It cost a minute of Orthus' time. Team in that little narrow walkway that they were in. Just like that, Aten Esports gets the win in this fight. It cost a minute of Orthus' time. Team in that little narrow walkway that they were in. Just like that, Aten Esports gets the win in this fight. It cost a minute of Orthus' time. Team in that little narrow walkway that they were in. Just like that, Aten Esports gets the win in this fight. It cost a minute of Orthus' time. Team in that little narrow walkway that they were in. Just like that, Aten Esports gets the win in this fight. It cost a minute of Orthus' time. Team in that little narrow walkway that they were in. Just like that, Aten Esports gets the win in this fight. It cost a minute of Orthus' time. Team in that little narrow walkway that they were in. Just like that, Aten Esports gets the win in this fight. It cost a minute of Orthus' time. Team in that little narrow walkway that they were in. Just like that, Aten Esports gets the win in this fight. It cost a minute of Orthus' time. Team in that little narrow walkway that they were in. Just like that, Aten Esports gets the win in this fight. It cost a minute of Orthus' time. Team in that little narrow walkway that they were in. Just like that, Aten Esports gets the win in this fight. It cost a minute.
different styles. There is the easy way to full hold on the first point to be able to keep that cart from moving. It's a very interesting map, and it has a lot of sort of advantages, whatever comp you're playing. So it's going to be interesting to see what these teams come out with. We could see the close hold brawl. Alternatively, we could see just double shield mirror matchups. Or we could see something entirely wacky like a 6-man dive or a balls Sigma composition. But it's going to be interesting because this map favors for a lot of wackiness, especially. It can have that sort of like normal compositions, but there can also be a lot of ridiculous stuff that teams decide to pull out.
Yes, definitely could have some ridiculous stuff here as well too. Darkson looking like they're going to be on the Sombra, probably a spawn play, but Orthus coming on the double sniper here. I would like to see it with a Mercy played usually, but still very, very good that we are going to be seeing a sniper battle here.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be seeing that Widowmaker come out from Oppie. The double shield defense is going to be on the play here for the side of Orthus. And as we said, obviously the brawl composition not going to be shown here from Aten. They are throwing a little bit of a curveball, running the ball Sigma I mentioned earlier. So we're going to see how this plays into favor of the enemy team. Most likely Darkson is on this Sombra to try and scout out a little bit. Oppie almost gives a free haircut to Shinbo there. That could have been disastrous to start off the push. But now they're switching over to a hybrid composition. They have the brawl tank on the Reinhardt, but everything else on this team says spam.
It does say spam. I really would like to be seeing one of the snipers from Aten be taking a little bit more of an off angle, even looking for potentially a flank. Oh, but Shinbo getting that headshot over there onto Oppie.
Yeah, that big pick onto Oppie to start off the fight here. Absolutely will push Aten over the line here. You can already see Orthus starting to retreat here with this double shield composition because they've lost probably one of their biggest damage dealers. And now Bizanors gets the kill onto Bori. Darkson getting the kill onto Flake. Members of Orthus starting to fall as Aten Esports, with this incredibly strange hybrid composition, are about to push it into point A.
They are about to push it into point B there, and you know, I'm really liking it. It's throwing a couple of curveballs that they're not expecting, but it looks like we are going to be seeing the brawl switch over here to Orthus.
Ooh, but Orthus couldn't switch Oppie. Oppie couldn't switch over to the brawl comp. They couldn't switch over to Cassidy to probably complete this brawl comp. They're stuck on the Widowmaker because the spawn room disappeared.
Then definitely looking potentially for flank picks there while your core aggresses could be very, very crucial. Oppie is trying to look for angles. Now we're going to be switching over to Darkson. Big wall coming out as well too. Oh.
Almost get that pick off onto Oppie. That could have been a big opener to the fight. But you see Narrow looking for these sort of weird flanks into the backline, trying to look for any sort of opportunity to make this Reinhardt work. And Bizanor is close to that flux, but Narrow gets charged by Bori thanks to a wall coming out from Flaky. And Oppie gets that headshot kill onto Shinbo. Just like that, Orthus finally stabilizing here as Oppie gets a second pick in this fight. That's going to be Orthus winning the fight here, and that's going to be a retreat here from Aten Esports.
A questionable little bit of a use of trams there. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite them a little bit. But now, you know what? Oppie is looking very good on this hybrid style that they're really putting in here for Orthus.
Yeah, this Widowmaker showing to work a little bit, especially with getting those two picks. You see Oppie is in that little window there based on the outline, so we'll see. Oh no, Aten realized this. Yep, they're just going to Dragon Strike straight into that room, try to catch all of the enemy team off guard. They know they're in that small room, so there's really no escape there. And guess what? Now there's a flux in there. Bezador sends the flux straight into that small room that Orthus are camping out in. Already two picks in favor of Aten Esports go into their favor. They're able to get that Widow and Zenyatta. And now it's just trying to move this cart forward as the rest of the team tries to follow up. Bori does get the kill onto Narrow, however, so already that's another big pick on the side of Orthus, being able to get rid of that main tank. But Bori dies to Blondie Rouge, and Darkson gets the headshot kill onto Flake. It looks like through all of that, Orthus looks like they're going to have to be sacrificing this point again. They might be able to come in for one last re-engage, but for the most part, they're going to have to be retreating.
Definitely going to be having to retreat here. Maybe even potentially setting up for a close third because of where the cart was getting pushed. There was so much cart push just from that May wall that they were able to put, and I don't know.
Oh! Bori tried to go down to contest Narrow, and Narrow just hit them right on the head with the hammer, bumped into oblivion, and now, just like that, Aten Esports starting to clean up the remainder of Orthus. That is going to be Aten taking point B in this. 4 minutes and 18 seconds to try and finish out Havana.
4 minutes coming in, and you know, that is a huge time bank for a very, very struggling point here, like third. It does look like Aten is going to be on better composition here with the double sniper, just because of these long sight angles that this map provides.
Yeah, absolutely, and you see Aten Esports looking for that perfect opportunity with these long sight lines, trying to find those little peaks as Darkson. He's trying to find that one little peak, but Oppie finds the first peak, gets Shinbo out in the open, is able to get that first kill in the engage, and now you see that Orthus are starting to engage a little bit. Oppie goes for the grapple shot, unable to get anything with it, but still Orthus having to try and figure out what's trying to push into here, but Nero gets the shatter right onto Bori. That's the only casualty, however, but Shinbo is back, and they found Thalia just like that. Aten Esports starting to bring it back. 3 picks in this fight thus far, and they're not done. Unda gets the kill onto Nero, and that shot from Darkson right onto the support is going to end it. Orthus going to have to retreat, and now Aten about to make it through the final section here of Havana.
They are going to be pushing it now, and you know what? These angles that they're going to be taking are really going to make Orthus struggle here. I'm not sure of the Hanzo, but the Hanzo it looks to be playing with his main core. Oh, Opie almost giving a haircut there.
Yep, trying a Widow duel here on this point can be absolutely massive, and Darkson gets the headshot kill that they needed. Belzanu also uses the Flux, and the Dragon comes out from Shinbo as a response. Unable to get any sort of picks, but did force out that beat from Thalia, and Nero, as I say, that gets 2 with the Reinhardt, able to try and finish this out, and Unda gets sniped, trying to get remexed. Beautiful, beautiful reaction there from Darkson to be able to finish that off. Opie won't be able to touch the cart, and now that's a 2-minute and 33-second time bank for Aten Esports here on Havana. And Havana's a pretty hard point to cap. That is absolutely massive time bank.
I fully agree. That is a massive time bank to have. And you know, Orthus, this is going to be the test here. This is going to be the test that they need to say, we're looking at you, Scrimbucks. We're looking at you to all these other European teams where if they can start capping and make their mark on this point here, it will really show. But Aten looking so good on that defense, or on that attack. So very good.
Yeah, they've been looking really good thus far, and it's really been showing that they can adapt to these sort of brawl situations. This composition really shouldn't work. It has a brawl main tank and a lot of spam defense, or a lot of spam attackers and supports, but they're still able to keep Nero up. Nero is providing that pressure so that the spam can work from multiple different angles, and it's working to their advantage now. And right now, currently on the defense, they're showing that composition again. You may not see it, but I do. And they're showing that composition again, Zuby. What is Orthus playing against this?
See, they're definitely going to be looking at a lot of cheeky angles that they can set up while their main core engages. I don't know if it's going to be the best for this point here, but it seems to be Orthus' strong suit.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what Orthus decide to move in here. They're running the Sim Bastion composition. Looks like they're going to be trying to go onto that right side and then take the TP over, or just try to brawl with the rest of the team. But it's going to be a little bit challenging. They have to try and set up that right position, and in fact, they do go right up to the high ground. Everybody in tow, so they're going to be able to start pushing in here. Shimbo's already found 2, however. Oppie's able to get that kill in the Darkson, but the main damage dealer on the enemy team is still alive in Shinbo on that Hanzo, and still members falling one by one. Kaori dies once again to Shinbo. This Hanzo being able to get a lot of value, and Aten Esports will be able to get this first hold. The cart will move a little bit, but that's because they're just not going for that full, close hold that they usually do.
That they definitely aren't going to be able to, but Opie is going to be controlling this high ground here, and it's going to be making it very difficult. He does drop. Now it looks like he's going to be pushed by Nero. Oh, he's fighting for his life.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to survive, however. Interesting that Aten has switched over to a Sombra now, so they want to try to counter this Bastion composition as much as possible and make it so Orthus are regretting their decision to run this Sim Bastion. So we'll see what the move is here from Aten Esports. They do have some ults online, and Unda finds that first pick onto Bizanur. Is already 1 tank down, and the second tank will fall. Nero down to Bori. Just like that, it's going to be Orthus pushing this cart now with that little bit of sustain that they have, and now Aten Esports have to come up with a different strategy. They might have Darkson install the cart here.
I think they're going to have Darkson install the cart just so they can get all 5 of their main members back, even if they tend to die for this point here. But they could be looking to actually set up angles. Oh no, he is going to be going in here to try and shoot. Hope he does take him down. Transcendence coming out as well too.
Yep, and the Shatter also came out from Bori, got 3 on the ground, including that charge on the Nero, who ended up dying in the hands of Coyote, and that's going to be it here for Orthus. They're going to be able to cap point A, and now there has to be a different strategy in play here for Aten Esports. They got to figure out how to counter this Bastion comp quickly.
There is going to be a switch over to the Ana as well, probably looking for an anti-nade pick, but there's so many ults that are going to be coming out on the side of Orthus. Mercy Bastion now. Mercy Bastion.
Yep. I mean, hey, what's the counter to a Bastion? A Bastion of your own. Having that high damage output, being able to stay in turret form, can definitely do a lot. It's going to be interesting here because one team has an extra shield, the other has a diva for defense matrix. So it'll be interesting to see which team has the net advantage in this. But you already see the Chimbo trying to burn down Opie on that Bastion. Not able to do a lot of damage, but they will have the Sim TV down to the low ground. But guess who's there? Nero with a 6-man shatter. Oh, no follow-up there, but Bizanors will use the Flux in return. Doesn't die to the bomb, but however goes right in there. And that's a 3-man EMP now from Darkson. Aten Esports want to win this fight as quickly as possible. They've already gotten 3 picks thus far in this fight. The res goes on to Shinbo, and just like that, Aten Esports, a lot of ults invested, but they win the fight, and that's all that matters.
See, that is what they crucially needed to do as well, too, as they started to see, oh, a big stagger here coming out onto Unda. But that's definitely what Aten Esports needed to do. They needed to use that EMP. We are going to be seeing the Zen switch over from the Lucio here. Ooh. Definitely to provide a lot more damage.
They also have that Sigma, so now they have that poke damage as well with the Sigma, and also have that second shield in play. So it's going to be interesting here. No more Diva, no more Lucio. So now they're playing pretty much a more spammy composition with this Reinhardt poking in. It's going to be interesting, though, because they still have to worry about Darkson on that Sombra. It's going to be interesting to see how they decide to counter it. But here's the way you counter it. Go right onto the enemy team. Walk on top of them. But guess who also has a Shatter again? Nero! Another 3-man Shatter coming out from Nero. This Reinhardt has been uncontested. The Shatters have been building up absolutely quickly. Building up like Lucio beats in a GOATS meta right now. And just like that, Aten Esports, with another Shatter used, they win the fight again.
They win the fight again, and it was incredibly convincing as well, too. They saw that rotation and perfectly scouted it. They walked on with the teleport and just couldn't set up. That Shatter was there.
Yep, they just couldn't set up, and now Aten Esports have this little bit of an advantage here. Orthus look like they want to try to take the high ground approach. They're probably looking for that perfect teleporting situation. You see Shimbo there on the left side, gets noticed and already burnt down thanks to Offie noticing that. Gets rezzed up by Blonde Rouge, but already several picks have gone down for the side of Aten Esports. But Darkson has found 2 on the Sombra. The Sombra pick might be working, well. And Shimbo has the configuration tank, gets the kill on the Kaori, and the Nano Boost as well. A Nano Boosted Bastion is not what you like to see in your Overwatch games. But it's going to work here for Aten Esports. They will be winning this fight. There's only 1 left on the cart, and I'm pretty sure it's Flake on the Symmetra. But they get the kill on the Nero. That cart might be moving a little bit. Actually, no, it won't as Darkson gets the kill. But another 1 fight here for Aten.
And look at the ultimates for Aten. They have this EMP Shatter. This EMP Shatter is going to be, and even Flux as well too, this is going to be probably the biggest point here, and biggest ult that we might see. They, depending on the reaction, if they can build this Transcendence, it could be big. First ult for Orthus, but I'm seeing this as a team wipe again, once again for Aten. Oh, the hack on Bastion as well, too.
Yep, they're just trying to stall out Offie, be able to get that kill, but Offie gets the kill on the Darkson instead! The EMP was not used, however, so it's still in play for this fight. But you cannot be losing your Sombra that early. That is bad here for Aten Esports. They still have a little bit of time to react. Talia gets the volley kill on the Shinbo. The Shatter comes out from Nero. Does get a few on the ground, but still the protection is there from the Orisa of Borean. Just like that, Aten Esports, what looks to be a good defense, has fallen apart.
You have to be stalling here, or you have to at least be saving all your ultimates. You can't be using stuff. Oh, Offie. Oh, Offie. They have families.
I mean, when you have the opportunity to be able to push into there, you're going to be able to do it. That was a terrible pun. I apologize to everybody in the chat. But still, that's going to be Orthus capping the 2nd point here. And it's going to be Aten Esports having to retreat. They only have to guard 1 point. But the good news is, even if Orthus cap, the time bank is in favor of Aten Esports.
You know, time bank as well as the ultimate economy, too. This EMP has been held, and it looks like, oh, it's going to be canceling that.
Yeah, it looked like he canceled that flux coming out from Unda, but not a lot of follow-up there. Oppi does die to the hands of Shinbo, but you already lose Darkson to the side of Unda. Will get rezzed up, however, so it's still winnable here for Aten as Shinbo gets another configuration tank online. Tries to go right into the enemy team, but Transcendence is committed here by Thalia and uses the body block, so Bori is able to get the kill on the Shinbo. Flux comes out here from Bezanors, gets 3 up in the air. No kills being able to result in that thanks to the lamp. And just like that, Orthus still pushing this card very well. Beautiful tracking from Orthus there to get Blondie Rouge.
Beautiful tracking there from Oppi. Those are things that you definitely see him spending the time with these mechanics on this hero. This ultimate as well, too, that he's just been able to farm so fast.
And he gets that kill on the Shinbo, basically right outside the spawner. That's going to be hard. Blondie Rouge able to get the res, however, so Aten Esports are trying to push into this. That's a big ante, massive ante, a very big risk versus reward play from Norak, and it might not be paying off as Oppi's found 2 with the configuration tank, trying to bring it in here for Orthus. They're trying to finish out this point. They only have 10 seconds left in the time bank. It looks like they might just be able to finish out this point with a little bit of time left in the bank, and that's exactly what they're going to do. 1 minute will be given to them, but 3 minutes and 27 seconds to the side of Aten Esports. Now we have a map that could really decide everything.
This is definitely the thing that could decide everything right now. Does Aten lose and end their first game on a loss, or does this go to a map 5 and that potential reverse sweep really coming out? Aten's been looking so strong in these points, but Oppi, a one-man army on the Bastion.
Oppi has been doing a lot on this Bastion, so it's going to be interesting to see what Orthus decide to go for here. We're going to see them on the attack first since they have a less time bank. Do they run that Bastion again? Or do they try to throw the enemy team off?
They're definitely going to be running this Bastion here. Oppi has just been too strong on this Bastion. It's something that, you know, a lot of teams at this level may struggle to deal with. You have to be patient and execute, and they're really testing Orthus's patience with... or Aten's patience with this Bastion.
But definitely Aten. You know what can break that patience? A lot of damage. You know what has a lot of damage? A Junkrat. You see Shinbo showing the Junkrat right now. They're sticking with this somber Junkrat composition. Obviously, want to get those hacks, want to get that massive amount of damage, shut down this Bastion and any opportunity they have, whatever it takes.
Definitely. Darkson is going to be setting up as well, too, looking for a potential hack to, you know, really at least pull focus while his team melts.
Or he's just going to be trying to burn down Thalia and will get the kill onto the Zenyatta. That is a great pick here from Aten Esports to start off the fight. The TP is set up for Flake, but it's unable to get any sort of value. Nobody teleported up to the high ground. Might have just been a bait, but still Orthus looking for that push. And guess what? Darkson finds Oppi in the backline, gets the hack, and is able to get the kill. Will lose their life for it, but still, that's a trade you are willing to make if you are Aten Esports right now. But still, Flake's able to get the kill on the Narrow, but Bezanor is able to bring it back. It is back and forth thus far, but Orthus might have the advantage here because they might have the spawn room advantage.
They definitely have the spawn room advantage. We can't forget about how powerful...
Kyori!
You know, you can't forget about how powerful something is. You can't forget about how powerful Window is. Kyori uses that window and brings the team into overtime, pushing now. Only one step off the cart means that Orthus might be losing this, might be losing any sort of, like, attempt they have in order to full cap this, but they're looking in the catbird seat right now. They have a chance.
10, you know, I would definitely just be giving up this point here. Arches, they're actually going to be going for the contest, though. Darkson is taking down Oppi.
That is massive. It could be a potential here for Aten to try and win this. You already have removed the immortality field from Kyori, so it is possible. Trying to bait out this thing out as well. Unable to get anything. Beautiful shot there from Thalia to be able to end that. Here comes the Rift Tower coming out from Shinbo, and it gets 2, and no one from Aten is there on second of those 2 that touched the cart. Oh no, Aten Esports able to bring it with that Riptire. Only 2 people were on the cart, and they were the only 2 people that died.
You know, this is why we love Overwatch, and this is the stuff we love to see. These European teams might be a new division, might be new teams, might be new people to bring on, but they're definitely playing like they've been around for a while.
Yeah,
they're definitely bringing in classic moments to Tranquility here.
Like, this is as classic as you can get, running these amazing compositions, running a little bit of tradition here, especially with the 3 Charlie Niners from Orthus we have seen this series. But that's got to hurt for Orthus because you had an opportunity to push that. You were about a meter off from point B. You could have been able to continue pushing that cart. And now you have to start at scratch. You have to come up with an amazing defensive strategy. Right now, that strategy is still the Sebastian, which, I mean, it can work. This is not what they ran on defense before, but if you're going to be trying to defend here for 3 minutes and 27 seconds, go all in. If you win this map, you win the series. So I would go all in if I were Orthus right now.
I would definitely go all in. I'd even attempt for the spawn camp too. You want that card to move as little as possible. It doesn't look like they're going to opt. Actually, it does look like they're going to opt in this.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be going right toward the beginning. Go right on top of the gas station right now. So they had that sort of advantage there. Now, Aten Esports need to find a way to flank behind them. Shimbo tries and fails, but Darkson gets the big pick onto Kaori. That's one of your biggest supports down. All you have left is this Brigitte. Orthi will get the kill onto Darkson, but it might not be enough here, as they've already lost one of their primary supports. So we'll see if Aten try to make a quick engage here, or if Orthus continue holding this and wait for their Baptiste to come back.
They are going to be switching over to the Sombra once again, and Shinbo is going to be holding that angle there, trying to either provide that flank pick or that off angle. Darkson is looking at Kaori, though. Oh, Shinbo is going to be taking out Flake.
That's your teleporter offline. You can't move this Bastion anymore unless you move it manually, so that's going to be a little hard here for Orthus to try and push into trying to contend this. They're just going to be leaving. They're going straight into the small room. Darkson is waiting for them in there. Gets bashed out by Thalia and gets killed at the spot. But Aten Esports, they're still glad with that. They're pushing them into this small room, which is very advantage for the Sigma. And Shinbo's in your backline. Gets your Brigitte down to the ground. Kaori gets the kill on the Shinbo, but still, you've lost another one of your supports. All that's left is Kaori on this Baptiste. And Aten Esports with this window won't be able to get any sort of push because the turrets were there in the corner. Bori gets the kill in a narrow, and Oppie with this configuration tank is bringing it back. Orthus able to hold it out. Only 2 minutes left here for Aten Esports.
2 minutes left, and also look at that ult economy for Orthus here. It is looking dangerous for this point.
Yes, it is very dangerous. They could easily just use this flux and shut down the entire push. But what happens if Darkson gets this hack off onto the Sigma while they're pushing in?
Exactly. Darkson could be shutting down all that ult economy. They just need to look for that angle and potentially just put that damage really on it. And they see Opie going the hack. Opie can't look at anything right now except for Darkson, but Darkson is going to be going down.
Yeah, Darkson dies to the hands of Opie, and under did use that gravitic flux. Wasn't able to get anything, however, but Orthus trying to push forward, and you see the members of Aten Esports falling at the seams. And it's looking rough here. Only a minute left in Aten Esports' time bank. They started with 3 minutes, and they don't have a lot of time to be able to push it that far. But that's a big pick.
Ooh, good trade there. Darkson very patient in order to kill that Bastion.
Gonna depend on what the move is here from Aten Esports. They have these ults online. How do they use them, and how do they use them effectively? We'll see what the move is. They're making that push in. The turret's finally being dealt with, and there's the shatter! The 3-man shatter coming out from Narrow, forced out the rally and the window, and now the flux from Bizanors gets 3 in the air, and it removes Unda from the end, and Alpi is back in this fight on the Bastion, able to get the kill on the Bizanors, but already that cart is only 12 meters away from being able to finish, but Alpi is in this backline all alone, uncontested, and the ult's still coming out from the side of Aten Esports. 20 seconds remaining for them. They got to try to touch this card fast, but they have that EMP if they're able to.
Orthus looking more like the god of death from their Egyptian mythology right now. Just Opie looking so good on that recontest, getting there in time. We are going to be seeing this EMP from Darkson that could really switch over the economy.
They're able to touch the card. Darkson is just barely going to be able to touch that card, and that's a 4-man EMP coming out from Darkson. It did get the Orisa. Will be able to be enough, however. Offie has this tank form online, and is able to get the kill on the Norak, and now there's no supports left on the side of Aten Esports. The Flux from Unda, there to finish it off. 3 kills from Unda in that fight, and say goodbye to Aten Esports here at the end, as Orthus, as you said, the gods of destruction in this match, will be taking the series 3-1. They get their first win in tranquility.
Orthus looking so good, you know. Their Bastion play are going to be one of the deadliest things about this EU Harmony tier that so many teams are just going to really struggle with. And, you know, Bizanoris and the rest of Aten looked so good. That was a valiant effort. That was a strong effort there, and they almost took that.
Yeah,
But
they
Orthus,
definitely could have taken that.
But Orthus, you know, that's the clutch factor you love to see, and it's going to be showing down the season as, you know, this season goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Orthus showing that they can contend with the big dogs. Just unfortunate Charlie Niners 3 times in this series, but they were still able to bring it back, keep that momentum going on, and they were able to win the series. Aten Esports, a lot of hope, a lot of potential on this team, but some things are not in order quite yet. They still can make a run here in Tranquility, so it's going to be interesting to see which one of these teams is the better of the two. But now with the series done and over, Zuby, I always have a tradition. We need to choose a player of the match, and I think I know what your pick is going to be.
Oakley Dokley, I most expect it to be Opally.
Yes.
Sorry, I mean Oppie.
You know it, yeah.
Oppie is definitely my player of the match there. A close second was going to be Bori, though. There's just so many good players here to pick, but Oppie, you are my personal player of the match. I don't know about you, Bowsy. How are you feeling for this one?
I would pick Oppie, but I'm not going to double down on that sort of DPS pick. I'm actually in mind to Unda, who, as you said, really came from down under and did a lot of big plays to be able to win that, especially on Kings Row, which was the map they lost. But still, Unda did a lot. They were doing a lot, and if you didn't notice in that last player of the match, Unda was the winner of the player of the match with their Sigma play on Hanavana. So Unda definitely is a really good off tank for this team. So I'm giving my player of the match to Unda. I would pick Oppie if it weren't for the fact that you already picked them. So again, Orthus looking really strong, and they look like they could be in contention to take on EU Scrimbucks. Not in this stage, however, but they might be going up against them across the road. This might be one of the best teams in the European division, but we'll have to see as the season goes on. But for the most part, that's it for us today. What an amazing match we got to see for the first European broadcast in Overwatch Tranquility history, in the Tranquility Gaming community. It's been an amazing job, and it's been an amazing stream, but that's all for us today. From everybody here in the comments, in the caster booth, including Zuby, my amazing co-caster, and our production manager, Hippie, or our producer, Hippie. We thank you all for watching, and we hope you have an amazing night. Or an amazing day, depending on where you are.
Take care and goodbye.